You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Stewart's Automotive Group has become synonymous with the auto industry in Jamaica and is breaking ground for the construction of its new home of the Jaguar Land Rover brand. And Business Access TV is here at South Avenue for the coverage. I'm Jamila Maitland. Stay with us.
Thank you for being here. Good morning and Happy New Year. What an awesome event for us. I cannot believe that we're here today breaking ground, a project that we had hoped to have done in 2008. It's taken us an additional 10 years due to many ups and downs, and we've done it. We could not have done it without all of you here. You have held our hand on this journey, and for that, we love you and we thank you. The Stewart's Automotive Group is proud to be kicking off 2019 in a big way with the official groundbreaking of what will be the new Jaguar Land Rover showroom and service center. This is a historic day for us, and we're very excited about what it means for Jaguar Land Rover customers, the Stewart's Automotive Group, and ultimately Jamaica as a whole. So what does it mean? The new home of Jaguar Land Rover represents investment in the brand, the best to showcase its combination of versatility and luxury, an increased opportunity for employment, and the continued growth of our group and country, beautiful Jamaica. Jaguar Land Rover, the art of performance. I'm delighted to welcome you here this morning, and on behalf of the entire Stewart's Automotive Group, I'd like to thank you for joining us as we put shovel and dirt to mark this special occasion as we go above and beyond. So we're going to have some remarks from my brother Duncan Stewart.
The symbolic groundbreaking for a project that's very important to us. As you can see, we've already started, so this is a symbolic gesture today. Some history. Stewart's Automotive Group celebrates its 81st anniversary this year, and we are proud to continue the legacy that my grandfather, my father, and my mother have continued. This legacy has been built on hard work, determination, and investing when other people wouldn't. It has been built on service. Service to our customers, service to our staff, service to our country. And we are proud that this legacy continues in our young fourth generation who are here today with us. Our family took over Jaguar Land Rover brand 3 years ago, and since then we've operated in a temporary facility at South Camp Road. In that time, we've grown from strength to strength by raising the benchmark for service and quality, whilst introducing fantastic new models that have raised the standards of luxury motoring in Jamaica. We are proud to say that many of you here today have experienced the brand promises of our premium products. Above and beyond for Land Rover, the art of performance for Jaguar, and I thank you for that. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to say that luxury has indeed found a new home right here. Here at Arthur Wint Drive, where both Jaguar and Land Rover will be housed. We are proud to say that we are bullish on Jamaica and bullish on the Jaguar Land Rover brands, putting our money where our mouth is. Our $13 million investment in this project will allow our group to offer our Jaguar Land Rover customers a world-class retail experience. And it will allow us to expand our horizons into real estate development with the additional space that we will have here for rent. The building will have 5 stories, covering approximately 5,000 square meters, 50,000 square feet for the rest of us. With JLR occupying the first 2 floors of the property, and we'll have rental property occupying the upper floors. We are working around the clock to have our showroom open and ready for the end of March. and to finish the project by September. And to give you some food for thought, what you see already built here started in October, so we are accelerating. Our Jaguar Land Rover facility will be very exciting, the first of its kind in the Caribbean, and of that we are proud. Built to Stuart's and Jaguar Land Rover's exacting standards, we've left no stone unturned to deliver on our family's promise of unparalleled service to our customers. With this facility, we will have the space to grow and to service our growing Jaguar Land Rover vehicle population in Jamaica. The layout, combined with investments in tooling and training, will allow us to raise our productivity. And of course, this standalone facility will give our customers exclusivity and dedicated attention that they don't have right now. Of course, any new construction, especially of this magnitude and investment, comes with benefits. For one, direct employment will be created for the persons in and around the community who will be part of the construction team. We will also house a business process outsourcing facility that will create employment opportunities for Jamaicans in this area and beyond. Secondly, our luxury brands Jaguar and Land Rover will now be housed here. The ambience and appeal of this location will no doubt be raised. We will set the standard in this area. Thirdly, we see this project as one that will heighten the sense of pride for persons operating and living in this area. And these are just a few of the many benefits that we will bring. I'm thankful to the government and other relevant stakeholders having played a very supportive role in this project to date. Prime Minister Holness, your presence today is a true demonstration of your support and that of your administration. On behalf of the entire Stewart's Automotive Group family, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us. I'd also like this opportunity to thank our staff, our over 500 dedicated professionals whose hard work has made Stewart's Automotive the powerhouse that we are. We couldn't have done this without you. Finally, I would be remiss not to thank all of our valued customers across the entire group for all the brands that we represent. Thank you for continuing to trust us with your driving experience. Thanks to everyone.
I do want to commend the Stewart family for this investment here, and particularly because you're not just moving the showroom for Jaguar and Land Rover, but you're making an investment in space for the BPO industry, a sector that I believe in strongly, one that has demonstrated tremendous growth and one that will continue to grow. And I think the location, it's hard to find a more ideal location than this. You're on pretty much a main thoroughfare, you're close to major centers, and it will be, in my view, quickly snapped up by those investors who are looking for space. But you've made a commitment and you put your money where your mouth is. And this property, I think, is going to continue to change the landscape of this area. There is another building further up, Arthur Wint, which Darrell was at, where we broke ground. Wicon is building the lofts. There are other developments taking place which will transform the area. Persons are being employed on the construction. Persons will be here permanently. And I think it's a real testament to the commitment of the family. I know, going back to your grandfather, the second generation, you are the third, and I know the fourth is here. And I want to commend the family for this commitment, and in particular the matriarch, Diana, who continues to play her role in the family business. The country has seen a lot of growth, and I could probably name in this area alone 5 or 6 major projects taking place. And by major projects, if you're looking for a crane, you look for a crane when you're talking about a major project. And there are a number of them taking place. And that is a positive thing. It genuinely provides employment opportunities, and it's a good thing. So I'm happy as a member of parliament to be a part of this and to support all the work that you're doing. And I want to commend the family again and pledge my support as you see through the construction.
It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test.
Free eye testing is back and it's here to stay. Island Eyewear offers free eye testing every day, all day at all locations island-wide. Conditions apply. Make your appointment today at www.islandeyewear.com or call us 630-1180. Island Eyewear, your style, your price.
It's Island Hour, free eye test.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a Season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
I am pleased to be here because it is a sign of the confidence that the private sector is having in the economy. Let me say clearly for everyone that this is not a simple matter for someone or a group of people to take up their savings or other people's savings, to put themselves in debt, to take a risk because there is no certainty or surety or guarantee in business. It is a risk. Obviously, entrepreneurs, enterprising people are not reckless people. They would have sat and they would have calculated the risk. They would have done their assessment. Now, Julian pointed out euphemistically that much progress started under his administration and we are building on it. And that's a good thing. That is not something that should be denied. That indeed is the definition of progress and prosperity. When you build on what was there and do better than what was there. But in this regard, I take note of Jackie's statement that this project was actually conceived in 2008. So you see, it is passing through administrations. But in the sense as well, there is a certain sadness because it has taken so long. And that, my friends, is the challenge with doing business in Jamaica. It takes far too long. We have to do things, obviously, to make it easier to do business. And Minister Vaz has charge of that with ensuring that all the various elements that go into the ease of doing business, that those elements are improved. And we are strategically focused on that. But doing business is also a function of the general macroeconomic environment. So the ease of doing business are usually microeconomic considerations. But the macroeconomy is also very important. Things such as interest rates, things such as certainty with taxes. What will the government do with its tax policy? And how will that affect your income streams when you make the investment? It is quite clear that from the fiscal standpoint, from the macro standpoint, government has acted in such a way as to give greater certainty to the economic environment, to allow businesses to take future decisions, and not just short-term future, but long-term future decisions, and to bring forward or actualize their investment decisions. This would be a perfect example of that. So I believe Jamaicans can feel satisfied in their government that the continued sacrifice for fiscal discipline has resulted in an economic environment in which businesses can take decisions and risks about investments. But we still need to make even greater progress on the micro issues. For example, how long does it take a business to get electricity? How long does it take you to get titling? How long does it take you to get approvals to do all of this? And the mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, my good friend, is here, and he knows the government's grave concern about how quickly we get the simple things done to make big investments happen. On another note, I observed keenly the last outturn on growth, 1.8%. Like most Jamaicans, I am not impressed. We want more growth, but we look at the glass for where it is. The truth is that we have been growing consistently. Not the level of growth that we want. I certainly don't consider it takeoff growth. When we get over 2%, then we will be in that range to start to take off. But as Julia knows, the investment decisions that you take today as business people do not have an immediate effect on growth. There is a lag. And that lag period in Jamaica, what we call the transmission of the growth, takes some time. Again, because of systemic weaknesses in our system, the lag between making the actual investment and that investment turning out and showing up in the growth figures takes some time. So you will see growth going into the future. But people always say to me, we see all these investments going on, as Julian was saying, that the national bird now is going to become the crane. Because we see so many cranes around Jamaica, particularly here in Kingston, new buildings being constructed. So it is a puzzle to many as to why is it that the growth numbers are not larger. There are many explanations, and I seek to prefer one to be considered. For many years, there has been a disinvestment in capital. In other words, capital formation in Jamaica over the past few decades has been negative. So in the national accounting systems, the disinvestment and the negative capital formation would mean that your ability to grow and grow rapidly would be limited. What you're seeing happening now is a return to investment in capital goods. A building, especially a plant, is considered to be a capital investment. And you can measure that in many ways. One, you can see movement in the stock market. You can see movement in the private equity and debt market. Because usually those kinds of movement and liveliness in that market would signal that people are borrowing to make capital investments. And we're seeing that now happening in Jamaica. So the preconditions for significant growth is being set. But you're not going to see it happen just yet right now. Again, the transmission, the lag is there. And I've been to many groundbreakings of similar nature. And immediate effect on the economy is that it creates jobs. And I'm very happy for that. Because it is one thing to have growth, but growth without jobs is immiseration. So we are happy that the growth that we are seeing, even though it is not at the level at which we want it to be, it is creating significant employment. In fact, I'm proud to say there are more Jamaicans employed today than ever in the history of the employment statistics. That is the case. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that Jamaica can and will achieve full employment. We need to continue this pace of capital formation. We need to continue this pace of investment, and we will achieve full employment, which in itself will create a larger demand, which in itself will drive consumption, which in itself will drive economic growth.
So Jaguar Land Rover has been sharing space with Suzuki down at our South Camp Road office. And frankly, there's not enough space for both brands. So we've always been planning to build here. And so it's about saying when are the conditions right for us to make the right investment. And so we see that, the track that Jamaica is going on, the track that Jaguar Land Rover as a brand is going on, means that's the right time to invest.
It has been 10 years in the making. What does this mean for the persons living around here and just, development overall of this space?
Well, there are not many properties in Kingston this size that can be developed with what we want to do. So we're fortunate. We've owned this property for quite a long time. The construction here is bringing jobs to the neighborhood, so we are employing people here. All of the people who are working in the project are Jamaicans. So we have Jamaican construction, Jamaica architect, Jamaica engineers, and so on. And then, of course, the project, when it comes to fruition, is going to provide jobs because we'll have a BPO here. And, this property is well located centrally. We have a tertiary education institution next door. We have a hospital next door. And we have neighborhoods next door that, can provide workers with jobs in this industry. And of course, for Jaguar Land Rover, we're getting our business all in one place, exclusive property just for Jaguar Land Rover customers. We're going to have productivity driven through our business because we are designing it from scratch.
You are celebrating your 81st anniversary. How long has this been in the making, and what do we expect from the Stewart's Automotive going forward?
So, we took over the Jaguar Land Rover brand 3 years ago. So it's been in the making for 3 years to put Jaguar Land Rover. Before we were going to put another brand here, but the circumstances of the Lehman crash made the economy and the motor vehicle business very tenuous. Now we have growth again. 2016 was the first year that the car business sold the same number of cars as 2007. So we've had a long time coming back to where we are now, and we see growth on the horizon, and we're very bullish about the future.
What would you say to investors who probably are a little bit skeptic about, putting money where their mouth is, as you said? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, the real issue is about whether you're confident about Jamaica, about Jamaicans, and about the future. And we are, and we invite other people to take the same view. If you look around, you do see people making investments. So it's not that we are alone, right? The thing is that it's time for Jamaicans to change their own future. We have to build it together, and we have to do it together.
That's it from us here at the groundbreaking ceremony for the showrooms of Jaguar and Land Rover. I'm Jamila Maitland for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Now presenting the Jamaica Social Investment Fund ICDP Enterprise Development Project. Entrepreneurial Grant Business Pitch.
This project is a $100 million grant that's seeking to target 50 small and micro business enterprises and give them training, capacity development, equipment, permits and license towards the development and the viability of their business. We have made a call for proposal in March of this year for entrepreneurs to submit for the opportunity to receive a grant between $1 and $5 million. We received more than 500 applications, and so we have now shortlisted them to 100. So we've invited that top 100 applicants here today, and they're going to have to pitch their business idea to a panel, and of the 150 will actually transfer and win the opportunity for the grants. One of the primary objectives of what we're doing here is employment. We want the business to be able to sustain not only the principals as the owners, but we also want the business to be able to employ at least 2 people. The next part of it, as we do in all of our projects like this, is it provides a learning instrument of how we can engage small and micro enterprises and take them to the next level.
Why we're doing this rigorous process, because we want to identify the best potential entrepreneurs for this project. And keep in mind that we are speaking about a loan, so we want to ensure that the applicants are committed, and that from a sustainability point of view, that upon receiving the support from JSIF, that in 2 or 3 years, the enterprises will still be operational and the broader objective of the project would be achieved. Once we have now equipped them and they should be ready to start the production line going, we'll then have a mentorship component.
It has been a very competitive process. Jamaica is filled with persons with drive and passion. We're expecting that the best will be selected. And then for those who are not successful, we are also hoping to link them to other providers of services, because I'm telling you today, from what I've seen, it is an excellent opportunity. It's worthy of note that many persons coming here today already have some kind of semblance of a business, but they need the additional support to move that business to the other level, as well as some persons that come in with just proposals to start from scratch. On behalf of the JSIF, we want to really thank the DBJ and other partners from UE who came to be part of the panel, and just to remind you that the JSIF is here and we're investing for community development.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Renowned reggae singer Dr. Alfarita Constantia Rita Marley was one of the 215 outstanding Jamaicans who were formally recognized during Monday's ceremony of investiture and presentation of National Honors and Awards at King's House. Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Magazine. In today's show, we shed light on the Rita Marley Public Speaking Competition, which seeks to better prepare Jamaican young people for public speaking events. And later, we learn some more about our bandana. You don't want to miss any of what's prepared for you on this, our final Friday in Heritage Month 2019. Stay right there.
Hey, what's up? This is Sean Paul, and you are watching Jamaica Magazine. Keep it locked.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 25. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, will be pumping $40 million more into the business process outsourcing BPO sector. Mr. Holness says the DBJ is awaiting the Ministry of Finance's approval to release the funds, which will be coupled with $73.9 million in loan support that has already been made available to the industry. The Prime Minister says once approval has been given, the money will support the provision of 13,000 new jobs in the area.
We're very happy to support this industry because it brings in employment and some amount of foreign exchange.
Mr. Holness was speaking at Thursday's groundbreaking for GTech BPO in Portmore, St. Catherine. The $3.5 billion investment will consist of 3 80,000 square feet buildings with the capacity to hold 4,500 persons across 3 shifts. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang has committed to providing support for the police's efforts to reduce crime and public disorder in the Vineyard Town and Mountain View communities of Kingston. He gave the assurance yesterday during a visit to the scene of a shooting incident that happened on Wednesday at a medical center in Vineyard Town.
This area is of particular interest to us, and the government will continue to provide the support to the Commissioner of Police and his team in order for them to be able to do whatever is necessary to dismantle the criminal networks and gangs that plague the Mountain View corridor and the wider Jamaica.
Minister Chang also visited St. Teresa Preparatory School, which is adjacent to the medical center, and then went to the Vineyard Town and Mountain View police stations. At approximately 10 a.m. on Wednesday, an unknown assailant entered a medical center and opened gunfire, killing 42-year-old Clifton Brown. 5 others, including a pregnant woman and a 4-year-old boy, were injured during the shooting. The police are working hard to ensure that there are no reprisals. The security forces are also asking those with information on the recent shooting to please report it to the nearest police station or contact Crime Stop Jamaica at 311. In other news, Jamaica has positioned itself to produce internationally certified seeds through the newly refurbished seed bank facility at the Bodles Research Station in St. Catherine. The $28.7 million project was executed through a partnership between the Agriculture Ministry and the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute. The seed facility has a capacity to test and store climate-resilient seeds, as well as to micropropagate vegetative seeds with climate-resilient characteristics.
It's important as it will enable us to have a faster recovery time for the sector in the event of natural disasters, as the planting material will now be more readily available for use in the replanting exercises.
Further additions to the facility will include the installation of a cold storage room to store seeds beyond their normal lifespan. This should be completed by the end of the first quarter in 2020. Jamaica has launched its first country program for engagement with the Green Climate Fund, GCF. The move is expected to increase the island's capacity to access more climate financing while streamlining the country's actions to engage with the GCF.
The preparation of the country program and other very important activities have been made possible through the readiness grants from the GCF. At present, we are implementing 3 readiness grants with an approved amount of US $1.4 million. Jamaica is also working towards having national entities directly access GCF resources.
Minister Darrell Vaz was speaking at Wednesday's launch of the country program for engagement with the Green Climate Fund, GCF. The function also served as the opening of a national consultation on climate change. It's intended to finalize the nation's actions to deal with climate change ahead of the 25th session of the Conference of Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change to be held in Santiago, Chile in December. And finally, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is currently in Japan observing best practices on disaster risk reduction and recovery efforts. Japan was recently struck by one of the worst typhoons in the nation's history, triggering landslides and catastrophic flooding. Minister Bartlett praised the country for being one of the most disaster-resilient nations. His comments come as he tours the typhoon-affected areas of Ichihara, Chiba, alongside the city's mayor and other key officials. The tourism minister called on the mayor to document his town's highly effective recovery and resilience mechanism. He also proposed that the mayor pay a visit to Jamaica and share best practices on disaster risk reduction and management with the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center. The minister also sought to strengthen Jamaica's relationship with Japan by developing a Memorandum of Understanding on Disaster Resilience between the University of the West Indies and the International University of Japan. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Garbage collection, maintenance of public sanitary conveniences, upkeep of cemeteries, provision of water shops, road improvement, street lights, poor relief programs, community beautification. All these services are funded by you. Yes, they are, when you pay your property tax. Pay your annual property tax to make Jamaica the place of choice for all.
As you heard earlier, Dr. Rita Marley was awarded the Order of Jamaica on Monday for her contribution to the popularization of reggae music and for humanitarian work through the Rita Marley Foundation. The foundation, which was formed in 2000, executes numerous programs and initiatives that equip young people with important life skills. One is the Rita Marley Public Speaking Competition. Learn more about it next.
Blessed love. My name is Fabian Morris and I'm the 2019 winner of the Rita Marley Foundation Public Speaking Competition. You know, my teacher expressed to me like a month ago if I'm interested to. She didn't even ask if I'm interested. She said, you know what, Fabian, I know you're good at impromptu, so you're going to enter Rita Marley. And I'm like, all right, okay, let's try it.
Yes. Fabian Morris is one of 12 high school students who participated in this year's 5th annual staging of the Rita Marley Public Speaking Competition.
What are the benefits of public speaking to the participants in particular? It is a great way of building personal development on many levels because improving communication skills is helpful in almost every area of life. Whether your goal is to engage in political debate, make a career as a motivational speaker, or gain confidence in front of an audience, public speaking can help you meet your goals.
We commenced this competition in 2015, the aim of which is to develop articulate speech among the youth and so that they could represent Jamaica on any platform or forum.
Students, teachers and others came out in their numbers at the University of the West Indies Mona campus to offer their support to the contestants in the two-part competition. Round 1 had contestants opining on the moot of all the forms that reparations should take. Repatriation to Africa is the most important.
Reparation is on the national agenda, and part of our responsibility is to ensure that public education, especially of the youth, is part of this mandate.
In 1518, a grim date in the history of the Atlantic slave trade, the Spaniards carried the first cargo of Africans from West Africa, took them whether by force or flawed bribe from their home where they are free to a foreign land to sell them as slaves. And it is now time we demand a reparation.
The various forms of reparation law, covering both monetary and non-monetary reparations, can be summarized in 5 forms. Restitution, which includes repatriation, rehabilitation, compensation, satisfaction, and guarantees of non-repetition.
The question is, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe that repatriation is the most important part of this plan? Well, I say that it is the most important part of this plan.
But repatriation to Africa may not be the most viable or logical option on an economic, social, and political premise.
While many of us are descendants of these slaves, we were born and raised on this very island. So therefore, it is safe to say, if we should be repatriating to anywhere, it should be to Jamaica.
We need to know who we are before we even think about going back to the place that we call the motherland.
We can't go to Africa with too long on. So we have to economically build, we have to politically build, we have to socially build, we have to prepare ourselves mentally in order to reach to Africa. And when, as they usually say in Jamaica, you have to give back something to mum. To make mum add on pan the house. So when mum can add on pan the house, then she can harness us in the house. But if you not give nothing to mum, if you put on pan the house, Lord God, what gonna happen?
I am sure, and I'm sure many of you will know this, no way, I'm saying no, me mean no way, no better than your yard. No way at all. Yes, I just reverted to Pato, but yeah, no way no better than your yard. And in closing, I am saying, we should go back to Africa, because Africa is our roots.
After an engaging first round, the judges had a hard task selecting the top 3 speakers who would advance to the next round. But in the end,
Fabian Morris, Lorena Estro, and Wendy and Ivy will have half an hour to prepare and deliver on the following topic. If Mr. Nelson Mandela lived until 2018, he would have turned 100. To celebrate the centenary of his birth, the South African government designed the theme, Be the Legacy. In your opinion, what is the legacy of Mr. Nelson Mandela to the world?
while the finalists departed to prepare their impromptu speeches, all the semi-finalists were rewarded for their efforts.
Destiny. And that's what he led.
Boom, bye bye, in a black man head. Hope that we will appreciate ourselves.
May I invite the three finalists to join me here. Going home with $15,000 in cash, Bob Marley merchandise, a medal, a certificate, and a plaque for the school. Can we congratulate the participant from Immaculate Conception High School? Ladies and gentlemen, going home to Yam Country, Westwood High School, Wendy and Ivy takes the second prize. Congratulations.
It was really hard for me to get here. A lot of things almost stopped me being here. And you know, sometimes the devil tries to stop us from getting our blessings. So I said, you know, I think this one is for me, so I have to be there.
I still have not forgotten my experience, and every year I come here to help out, I relive that experience, and I'm inspired all over again to continue being a voice for persons in Jamaica, and also to continue to push myself more to be a better public speaker and a better advocate for the things I believe in.
I'm feeling excited, extremely excited, because I win it from my school. It really teaches me to believe in myself and be confident, because I didn't believe I would win.
Lions, oh lioness, get up and know you are the mightiest. I'm talking to all lions.
So many wish they could visit our shores. We live where they vacation. Brand Jamaica beckons all from the four corners of the earth.
Well, as a Jamaican, I have great pride in selling it. You know, your pride that you sell Jamaica with is something that it rolls off. Jamaica has so much to offer, and every time I have the privilege of bringing an executive down to Jamaica, an executive from an airline or a tour operator or a travel agency, and you take them across the country You know, the pride that they said, wow, I can't imagine, especially when it's their first time. Wow, I love this.
Build it. Cherish it. Our wealth is Brand Jamaica.
During national observances such as Independence Day, Jamaica Day and National Heroes Day, many persons across Jamaica can be seen decked out in bandana. This plaid cotton material has become an undeniable part of Jamaican heritage. Just watch.
A bandana, bandana, a part of our identity, a bandana. Yarmiyaki go al instead market, not a quality what sell. Yarmiyaki go al instead market, not a quality what sell. Oh Lord, what a night, what a night. What a Saturday night, Lord, what a night, what a night, what a Saturday night. Compliments upon your madras. Same to you. Thank like you. it. Well up there, so what is madras? Make we sit down. Young but really no know Sam. Aye, sir. Madras is what we call bandana. So, madras is basically a cotton plaid fabric which came from India and was brought to Jamaica by the indentured laborers after slavery ended. But every Caribbean island have a little touch of this, you know. They have a different pattern. Right. And so, them use it to identify each Caribbean island.
It is important to note that the broader plaid, which is referred to as the Miss Lou bandana, is the original material that was used in Jamaica. And as time progressed, the finer plaid came on stream, which is the red bandana with mixtures of blue and black.
The word bandana is actually Hindi. And everybody knows that Hindi is the language that the people from India speak. Now the word bandana means to tie. And that's why most people associate bandana with tying your head. But in Jamaica, we don't use bandana per se. We use any kind of fabric for tie head, you know. All we do, we just wrap it around their head in our circle and we tie it back so that when them put the goods on top of it, it all on balance. What are they? Swim basket here. Oh, so now, me can carry me a Linston market. You know, and the history continues. You know, I spoke to Auntie Faye the other day. Everybody in here must know Faye Ellington, right? Yeah, man. She said, man. She said, by the way, you ever see Sheena Faye bandana? Yes. She pretty not true. Man. Yeah, man. Now, she told me the other day that bandana was used by the female vendors in the market. They use the bandana as bib. The same thing that we call apron. Apron, and they also use it to tie them head, and they use it also as scarf. It is also popular to note that the working class women used to wear the bandana. Yes, yes. But they were looked down on because they wear it. But they were persistent. Yes. They wore it with dignity and pride. That is very right. And they were the one who actually legitimized the bandana. You didn't know a bandana is not just a costume. It also helps us to identify as Jamaicans. You understand what I'm saying? Over the years, the bandana has evolved. Because, you know, as time change, you know, people stands on different things, it change as well. So today, bandana is considered to be our unofficial costume. National costume. So look here now. Miss Lou was the one that really made bandana so popular, you know? Yes, man. Every time she would do one of her theatrical performances, Miss Lou would dress up in her bandana, and anytime anybody gonna do any of her poems, where them use
Bandana. And now everybody want a little touch of bandana.
And you know, them now wearing it at the Miss Universe,
You lie.
and the Miss World, and the Festival King competition.
You see, the bandana is not only one style you can wear it, you know. For example, me is not wearing the original kind, you know. Me is wearing Simply Precious design. Yes, man. Normally how them wear it is, them wear it in a one nice flare skirt, and then them pair it now with a wonderful white top. They put a piece of the bandana or the madras around the neckline, or even put it around the sleeve sometime, you know, just to add a little oomph and spice to it. So over the years, you know, it has become more stylish and stylish and stylish. And then, of course, you know, the man them normally wear a nice little shirt with the madras or the plaid, and then pair it with a black pants or with a white pants. And if you're fancy and in high fashion, you put a scarf around it, right?
Or even a head tie.
Thank you very much. So you see, all in all, bandanas come a far way. From the marketplace to haute couture.
High fashion, high fashion.
That's right. Bandana come from India, reach a Jamaica, and all in all, bandana
is here
to stay.
What a joyful news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart won't burst. Jamaican people colonizing England in reverse.
By the hundreds, by the thousands, from country and from town, by the shipload, by the plane load, Jamaica is England bound. But what are the government plan England? Them brave the war and face the worst. But I don't know how them Western colonizing in reverse.
Bandana, bandana, a part of we identity, a bandana, a bandana, oh a bandana, a part of we identity, a bandana.
Make a draw for the madras, 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 madras. Oh, put on the madras, 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 madras. Yes,
a part of we identity, a bandana.
Jack Mandora, me no choose no.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
Our national hero, Paul Bogle, was hanged on October 24, 1865, because of his protest for justice and fair treatment of all Jamaicans. Though he was punished for his brave act, his labor was not in vain. It paved the way for the establishment of just practices in the courts, which resulted in the social and economic advancement of our people. Learn more next.
Born in Stony Gut, St. Thomas in the 1820s, he suffered as a slave. He toiled in the hot sun, working and praying for the day he could say, "Yes, freedom come." And when that day came, the day he was free, the plan of becoming fully independent was his next feat. One he accomplished, small farmer, then landowner, to being one of 106 persons on the voters list. He was well on his way. So much so, he became a Baptist deacon in the village, a true Jamaican activist, angered by the injustices and oppression faced by the people in St. Thomas by one Governor Edward Eyre. So, he gathered his people and marched onward they did, left, right, on October 11, 1865, the day of the Morant Bay Rebellion. Over 500 people died, but not in vain. That special day spurred changes in the social and economic conditions of people not only in St. Thomas, but the entire Jamaica. The Right Excellent Paul Bogle, the man who lived and died for his people on October 24, 1865. A man of honor, a man of truth, our national hero.
So you just learned how the Morant Bay Rebellion helped to pave the way for a better Jamaica. But how much do you really know about the man who orchestrated it? Here are 3 important facts about the man that helped to make our island home a better place for all Jamaicans to live, work, raise families, and do business. Firstly, you might be aware that Paul Bogle was a free black man from Stonygut, St. Thomas. But did you know that he had the rare privilege of being a black man who owned land? Yes, he did. Secondly, many persons are aware that he was a deacon in the Baptist Church. But were you also aware that he was appointed a deacon by George William Gordon, another Jamaican national hero? And finally, Paul Bogle was also one of the 106 St. Thomas people with the right to vote. He was a strong supporter of George William Gordon, and it was this support, coupled with that of other members of the Native Baptist Church, which got Gordon elected to the National Assembly to represent St. Thomas.
So let's remind ourselves and tell the world hello, hello. I'm a Jamaican, we are Jamaicans. Hello, hello. I'm a Jamaican.
And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks for journeying with us. To watch today's program again, simply visit our website, jis.gov.jm. Don't forget that you're able to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Audrey. Have a superb weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Visit
Business Access TV is here at the Carib Cinema for Yellow Digicon 2018, dubbed Digital Marketing Innovation Ready for Tomorrow. I'm your host, Amita Prasadwe. Please stay tuned to Business Access TV for highlights.
As businesses, we need to recognize that consumer-centric advertising, consumer-centric marketing needs to be the order of the day. Because the consumer now has a lot more options. That is because the internet and technology continues to permeate globally. So there are actually over 4 billion internet users globally. That was since the beginning of 2018. That represents over 54% of the global population. And that number continues to rise. Over 3.2 billion social media users, 42% penetration. Did you know that your WhatsApp, which is very popular in the Caribbean, there are over 38 million messages sent every 60 seconds. In every 60 seconds, YouTube, there are over 4.3 million videos that are viewed. It means that with this proliferation of content, brands have to wade through all of that information, all of that noise, to be able to zero in on who the customer is. And that is why the customer has so much power, because they can choose not to be exposed or to consume your information. Social media is excellent, and the Google Display Network, short pushing ads, is excellent at bringing interest, bringing awareness to your brand or your product. But having created that awareness, what then? Are we still expecting that customers will actually buy the first time they become exposed to your product? That, if you are expecting that, then you're in for a rude awakening. You have to court them. They have to be channeled or ushered along the sales funnel. And so, after they've been exposed to your brand in the mobile app, on a website, on social media, how do you communicate? What is your value proposition? And that is when you usher them down now to hopefully a place, an online asset that will be able to communicate more directly. Usually that's a customized landing page. Usually that's your website or to your mobile app. Something that will be able to create that dialogue. And that is where things like search engine marketing will come in, and things like remarketing, different online assets, digital marketing tools that will be able to continue that conversation until they get to the point at which they say, yes, here is my money in exchange for that good or product or service. And beyond that, you continue to develop that relationship, again incorporating social media. But the strategy from your social media at that point must be different from what it was in just bringing general awareness. Because now you're developing an advocate relationship. One of the most important things that come out of the millennial mindset is experience, experiential marketing. Focus on the experience, both online and offline, because everybody's aware, I'm sure, that if you have a negative experience, that will cost you in terms of time, in terms of money, in terms of reputation. And so guard your integrity, guard the experience with your business fiercely. Now, every product that you offer will appeal to everybody. Understand who is your ideal customer for this product or service or brand at this particular time. And once you develop that persona, you start to collect information about them. Things like, what platforms do they use? Are they on all multimedia? Do you use TV here? Do you use outdoor? Do you use mobile only? Do you use social media? Where are they located? Where do they work? Where do they live? And so where do you reach them? What are the attributes? What are they interested in? Because if they're interested in motor vehicles, then you can reach them while they're looking at something related to motor vehicles. Because you're focusing on the individual. Ensure that your website is mobile friendly, is mobile enabled. Because we know that most of the searches, most of the interactions will come from a mobile device. And if your website is designed or optimized for a desktop device, then chances are the mobile experience will be less than optimal. We're talking about the future, eh? Customers now are demanding not only to have a good experience on your website, and that's it, because they're not staying in front of the computer all day. They want that same experience on their mobile device. And it follows them in store. And from in store, back to the website. And it's continuous, it's seamless. That doesn't just happen overnight. And we as businesses in Jamaica and the Caribbean need to understand and ensure that we embrace that.
Your audience seems very engaged today. What's the feedback like?
The feedback has been phenomenal. We did this same exact conference in Cayman. We had about 140 people. The feedback was good. We now have close to 400 people here today, and the feedback is much better than it was in Cayman. I think the energy, the questions that are coming out, the insights that are coming out, I think is good. Not only in the quality of the presentations, but also the content that is being disseminated to a wide cross-section of businesses, small, medium, and large. And I think based on that premise, I would regard today's conference as a resounding success.
So how much of a positive impact does digital marketing conferences like these have for Yellow Media Group?
It has tremendous value as it relates to establishing and reinforcing Yellow Media Group as a leader in the digital space, not only in Jamaica, but across the region. As well as, and I think more importantly, a very positive impact on our customers, because the truth of the matter is that while we do sell digital, this conference is not only designed to focus around products that we sell. It is intended to really raise the awareness and the strategy level that businesses can utilize digital marketing and the different tools and the different benefits to incorporate and fine-tune their own strategies to be able to step into the 21st century and actually reach their customers in a meaningful way and maximize that return on investment.
As 2018, the digital marketing space continues to change. What would you say are some newer challenges that are now facing the Jamaican digital marketing landscape?
I think one of the major challenges I have found is that there is not an aggressive adoption of the importance of digital marketing to most businesses. Fact of the matter is that still it's regarded as a bolt-on. It is a whatever budget is left after we've done everything else that is important that we'll dedicate to marketing and then digital marketing. Because of how digital marketing is firmly rooted in the core structure of most businesses, I think local businesses need to more readily embrace the importance of digital marketing in actually how to reach and communicate with customers, generate leads, and then focusing on how to move those leads through the sales funnel to an actual sale, and better yet, get them to become loyal, become brand advocates. And so, businesses I think will definitely benefit more in terms of revenue from courting existing customers rather than investing over and over just to court brand new customers.
When it comes to the world of online reviews, one of the things that's really important is to engage with them, right? You cannot hide from them because they tend to have this sort of inevitability about them, right? People are going to be online looking at businesses, trying to find out information about online reviews one way or the other. If you're not on a review site, it's really important that you put your business on review sites because frankly, consumers more often than not actually have the ability through the platforms to list your business on your behalf. But why are consumers going to review sites in the first place, right? Why are consumers going out there and why are they going and seeking out this information on businesses that they're going to spend money with? And why are they doing it in droves? 97% of consumers last year used an online review site to find a local business. Raise your hand if you've ever looked up a business online before you went there. I expect everybody's hand to go up, right? So why are they doing this? Well, online review sites are no different than word of mouth, right? They are pretty much exactly the same. But rather than listening to one person at brunch or at church or in your community center, whatever it might be, you're getting the collective knowledge of a group of people, of an audience of people, so that one outlier tends to be balanced out. Businesses can say whatever they want about themselves. World famous, grandma's best, world renowned. Rashid called me an internationally renowned speaker. Thank you. I'm a take it, right? Because I can take a compliment. That's an art. But that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. But the point is that brands can say whatever they want about themselves. And consumers are savvy to that now, right? They're sophisticated, they're educated. They know that a brand can say whatever they want about themselves. So they're going to go out there and they're going to do their due diligence. And they're going to go out there and see whether or not a brand is truly being authentic, right? Are they truly measuring up to the promise that they're putting out there? And brand promise is such an interesting idea, right? Brand promise is so complicated because brand promise is no longer a mission statement. It's all of the things that are out in the world that are about your business that, when summed, equal your brand promise. When you're setting yourself on a local business directory or a review site, the thing that's really nice is you don't actually have to go on there and spend that much time proactively managing it. Maybe it's something you check once a week or every 2 weeks, whatever it is. But you do need to take a little bit of time to set it up and make it unique. So make sure that you're in the categories that make the most sense for your business, but also make sure that the way that you're talking about your business is compelling, right? Photos are going to be a really big differentiator between you and people and other businesses in the area, because that is a much more telling idea and much more telling example of what you do and what makes you so unique. So make sure that you're uploading at least 10 photos to your pages. And with your photos, don't just do your logo and your product offering and whatever. Focus on the people and the team, because that is the heart of any business. It's the people who spend so much time doing that, right? Next thing, set yourself up to start taking some reviews in those business details, right? Do you take credit cards, things like that? Those are the little things that consumers might be looking for that it's going to be really, really helpful to have on there. Just like Rashid was saying, if you have beach access, you want to make sure that those types of additional details, because you don't know how consumers are searching necessarily, you want to make sure that you're casting a wide net for everything that you do. So don't get lazy. Make sure that you take the time and you set yourself up correctly, and then every 6 months or so, update as there are changes to your business. So again, basic business information about your business and photos. If one person has given you a negative review, that means that there are 99 people who probably thought the exact same thing, but never took the time to write it down. So as a business, the people that you should be afraid of are not the one-star reviewers. It's the people who walk away and don't tell you why they're walking away. People walk away and say, I wouldn't go back there, but never tell that business why, because the one-star is, they love you enough to tell you why they hate you. Right? They're giving you the feedback to improve and to grow. We spend over $500 billion a year on advertising, about $9 billion a year on customer service. That is such a disconnect, because it's your existing customers who are going to drive the most revenues for your business. So that's why the final step here is staying engaged. Stay connected, stay logged in, check your page, deliver feedback in your weekly team meetings, whatever it might be. Make sure that you are staying on top of it and that nothing is slipping through the cracks.
What are your thoughts on Yellow DigiCon?
I'm excited. When I saw it at first, I was like, okay, I need to see what I can learn as much as possible, because I'm at a stage where I'm trying to grow. And I think this is very good for someone who's trying to grow not just their business, but their self and their experience.
It's relatively early, but have you learned anything thus far?
Definitely. I took some notes, especially with the presentation by John Carl about the reviews. That's where most of my notes came from, because it's not something that was at the forefront of my mind, but now I'm considering everything that might be as of equal importance as many other marketing functions that I do.
So give us some feedback on your presentation.
So one of the things that I noticed with the audience is, one, the amount of energy was insane, but also the kind of fear of online reviews. And I think that's a really natural thing. I think people tend to be nervous that, I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to get rejected or I'm going to get negative feedback, which is a natural fear when you're a small business owner and your reputation is a lot of times tied to your revenues. But what people don't understand, I think what people need to embrace, is that every single business, every single person has the opportunity to improve and the opportunity to grow. So online reviews and feedback back is the only way that you can do it, and it's the only way that you can really build a sustainable business. So I think that was one of the most exciting things to communicate to people, is that online reviews are not something to just be afraid of. It's something that you embrace and you use, and is a tool that can help you be better every single day.
What are your overall views on Yellow DigiCon?
I think this conference is wonderful. Anytime that you can get people out of being in front of their computers or off their cell phones and in person, you will always, the connections that you make in real life are so valuable, and more valuable than the connections that you make solely digitally. Connecting with somebody in person is much better than connecting with somebody on LinkedIn, because you actually get to experience and understand and learn about that person. And those connections, from a small business perspective, are the ones that you can take back to your business, and that then become tools for you, not just kind of these amorphous alien, interactions.
Stay tuned for more Yellow DigiCon after the break.
Doggin Global Introduction. Doggin Global is an integrated multidisciplinary professional service firm. We are integrated as one firm and provide several professional services, including audit, accounting, tax, IT, risk, HR, performance, M&A, corporate recovery, and other advisory services. The firm is organized in several professional service units, which includes Doggin Auditors, Doggin Advisors, Doggin Legal, Doggin Finance, Doggin HR Solutions, Doggin Tech Solutions, Doggin Media, Doggin Corporate Secretarial. If you are interested in any of our services, please contact us for a free quote. Email info@doggin.global. Website doggin.global.
It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test.
Free eye testing is back and it's here to stay. Island Eyewear offers free eye testing every day, all day at all locations island-wide. Conditions apply. Make your appointment today at www.islandeyewear.com or call us 630-1180. Island Eyewear, your style, your price.
It's Island Hour, free eye test.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back and thank you for joining Business Access TV. We go straight to stage with the Yellow DigiCon 2018 highlights.
So let's talk about the new global customer, okay? The new global traveler. Because you need to understand what those expectations are in those consumers that are coming into your market, who are actively looking for you while they're here, okay? So they value your local perspective. We want authenticity, we want adventure, we want jerk chicken. And we want it on the side of the road, right? That's what we want. And I'm gonna search for jerk chicken at the side of the road. So we gotta engage, we have to listen, we have to respond, and not just for 2 reviews, always on, right? And further than that, we need to know if it's working. We need to define our success metrics. And most importantly, we need to tell our stories. The expectation now is that consumers, not just travelers, but consumers want direct connect with brands. They expect immediate responses. They expect accurate information. Don't send me in the wrong direction with an unmarked pin on a map. That's not going to make me very happy. Also, surprise and delight me. Tell me why I need to come to you. Give me that excitement about why I need to come to you, because sure enough, I'm going to share my experiences. I tell you, whoever's following me on Instagram, look out, because there is just, a slew of my adventures happening in my stories, and because you know what, that's what I want to do. I want to show. I'm not going to lie, there's a bit of a snowstorm in April in Canada right now, like a really bad one with ice. Guess what I've been posting? That's right. Sun, cocktails, on the beach. I'm having fun in Jamaica. That's right. So I want to do that because we like to brag, right? So leverage that. You know, create those opportunities to engage and listen and share that stuff because they want you to be the personality. So if we're listening and responding, that means we could actually be listening and responding even on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. With posts like this from real people, we could be responding to them directly. We can find this content through hashtags, right? And, you know, listen and sort of respond. And if you are that brand, not the thank you for posting, but, you know, great shot, or ask them even to use their content. Video content is king. Also is live streaming. I'm sure many of you are. Is anyone live streaming this right now on Instagram or Twitter? Very big trend, very big trend. And now, I mean, I can tell you right now, I was Facebook living as I was walking on the beach to my kids. They weren't too happy about that. Oops. But it is a really big part, right? So share that content. Use your social pages to reshare that content. Comment on those user posts. And it's not just Instagram and Twitter. It is also YouTube. It's also other social channels. It's review sites, okay? So mix up this content. Now let's take it back to how you can actually leverage these trends and leverage these conversations, right? So here we go. A couple, really cool things. I was so happily surprised last night when I was doing some searches for some local businesses that were doing a really great job. Are they in here at all? Right? So their food is good, but guess what? They're also really good at sharing their stories. And they're also really good at listening to their customers. So for example, there were quite a few posts on these with comments saying, what was this one? I went for dinner last night and you were closed. Perfect opportunity, right, to listen and respond, saying, we are very sorry we missed you. We'll be waiting with your favorites tomorrow. Simple. Simple. It's the best marketing vehicle there's ever been. It's got to be authentic, very authentic. Not, we've got a special on moringa. That doesn't work anymore in the conversation economy, right? It needs to be a very powerful narrative. So the pushed out content, or I would call brand owned content, should be incorporating the same tone, right? So even your brand's posts that you're putting on to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere need to kind of adjust to be more conversational and creative, right? And to invite responses. Facebook and Instagram specifically are a pure media channel. No free reach. Pure media channel. Although very efficient and very effective because massive population of people are communicating it on and around it every single day. So yes, you need to be there, right? You need to be unique. You need to show that off. You need to be fun or quirky, if that's your brand. Or you need to be really reserved and smart, if that's your brand. This is what you need to do. You need to resonate with your target audience. Your content, your personality, your conversations, this is the new marketing, okay? Shift it a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit deeper because this is part of it, okay? You also now as a business need to be always on all the time. This goes beyond the review sites. This goes into Facebook reviews, Facebook send messages. How many in here have their send message enabled right now? We're getting to a place where we as customers expect it always on. If it can't be on, then you create sort of a frequently asked questions and can I see a menu, that sort of thing. But you need to show that you're always listening and responding. Note that customers today expect a 6-hour response. I would say on Facebook specifically, I'd say that's shrunk, okay? So reviews are also happening on Facebook and they're very important, okay? Facebook reviews are extremely important, as are all of the other review sites, equally important. Directory sites and review sites such as Yellow are extremely important, and you need to listen, you need to ensure your listings are accurate, and you need to drive those customers then to a conversion, okay? And if you don't do that, to the reference John made about Googling it, you won't appear. So actually reviews are now impacting your distribution and your ability to be found by customers. And this is across the board. This isn't just Yelp, this isn't just TripAdvisor, everywhere, okay? So they need to be managed. So respond quickly, encourage reviews, and always answer.
How important is it for business owners, marketing experts in general, to learn the fundamentals of digital marketing?
That's an excellent question. I just had that same discussion. I would say that fundamentals have to be there, everybody, and I just discussed the fact that I believe, especially here in Jamaica, you have a very young, vibrant business community, it seems. The fundamentals are the key. So what I would say is that the universities around here and the education, that is your opportunity to get the fundamentals into that next up-and-coming group, and it's critical because the other thing is this space and consumer behavior will continue to evolve. So if we have a great grasp of kind of how we've gotten here and how quickly that has changed, but we understand it's basic marketing. It's no different, it's just online.
What would you say are the main takeaways of your presentation today?
Well, I had some other great colleagues who talked a lot about strategy and return on investment and how to measure and what resources and, reviews and how to apply. So my background is really in tourism and hospitality as well as strategy. So I really felt that because Jamaica in itself is such an iconic travel brand and you're known across the globe. So it was my opportunity to say, hey, these conversations about your brand around your core brand pillars like your music and your culture and the people and the food, these are the things that you can tap into, right? So I really talked about untapping the potential of the buzz and the conversations going on, and not just on the social networks that you're comfortable listening to or engaging in, but really honing in on what are your inbound travelers expecting from you and where are they going to talk about your brand. And so really I just talked about, I gave some examples on how to listen, how to respond, not to sell, and really just focused in on that potential.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
How many of you all use a marketing plan on the daily basis? You execute it. Ooh, 1 out of many. 2, 3, maybe 10, right? For the rest of you, how are you? Think about how you're executing marketing tactics without a plan. You don't know what to do. You don't know your expectations, and so you celebrate that one kind of comment. Who posts and they get one comment and they go, yay, social media. Right? It's so true, right? You go, yay, this works. And then you get no sales from it. No one's converting. You go, boo, social media, I hate it. Well, we have to start realistically understanding through first developing a marketing plan so you can understand what a lead is and your expectations. Next is, you don't have a focus. No, you don't. You may believe you do. So target marketing is crazy. It can be crazy sometimes and very difficult. So how many of you all right now in your marketing campaigns are targeting more than 4 target audiences? Yeah, I know, you're out there. You don't want to raise your hand, right? Because you know where I'm going with this, right? One target audience. You got one target. How many of you are targeting? What are you targeting? Nobody's targeting? You're not doing business? You're just kind of waiting for them to come? You're going, whoever buys my business, I'm all right with it, right? I want that to stop, right? I want that to stop. I absolutely want you to start developing a more focused marketing plan so you can get the leads that you want. Because who wants to make money? All of us, right? Next is, we confuse sales efforts with marketing efforts. So you believe that your marketing is going to get you paid. So listen closely to my simple solution so you can understand. Marketing gets you leads, sales gets you paid. So now we're going to start focusing on practicing more efforts that will get us leads so that we can cipher into getting paid. Here's the reality of marketing. It is for your customer for tomorrow. Marketing is about sustainability, not immediate profitability. And so we believe that if we do marketing, that tomorrow you will get paid. And it's not true. Tomorrow you will have the interest and attraction of a person when you market correctly. On the top half of our funnel is marketing efforts. It's awareness and interest. The bottom half is decision and action. Marketing, especially in social media, is going to help you get attention so you can get interest so that you can start to do sales activities to have them make that decision. So we have to figure out how many leads is possible and how many leads you want to get when you're marketing, when you're doing your marketing on to social media. So how many? What does that look like? 80-20 rule. Anybody know about the Pareto rule? I know, right? So at first glance, this says 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Now that sounds pretty cool, right? You mean to tell me only 20% of my efforts? I could do like 20% and like I'm gonna get 80% reward from doing 20%? That's not what it means at all. You guys know this, right? So in marketing, it's 80% of your leads should come from 20% of your marketing. That means your marketing has to be so tight. It has to be so direct, so specific that you're getting the majority of your leads from it. So it actually means, this Pareto rule means that you need to get more efforts, more tight with your targeting marketing. So how do you do that when you generate leads? It's going to help you to increase your sales. By condensing down, you're going to be able to expand yourself. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like retract to expand. Absolutely, because you'll have more focused efforts and you'll be actually attracting the people who want to buy your things. So it is important to know that when you get better leads, increasing the sales is important. All money is not good money, is it, right? We have some of those clients, or some of those clients we wish we didn't have. It costs too much to even deal with them in the first place because they're not your target. You want to start really developing leads that are going to get you paid the way you want to get paid. It's also going to help you make better budget decisions. How many of you all have, I'm laughing because you're going to laugh at the question I'm going to ask you. How many of you all have marketing budgets? Great. Marketing budget. What is a marketing budget, right? So here's a simple method about marketing budgets for you. And you should have a marketing budget. We're marketers. You should have a marketing budget. How much are you willing to spend inside of the grocery store on a particular product? So think of it that way. You really need to start investing in your marketing because you cannot just post and people appear. If you build it, they won't come. In fact, you need to build it, drag them over there, beat them in the head. You have to get them to see. In fact, if you didn't know, it takes 7 times in marketing for someone to see an ad for them to pay attention. Now, how many of you have paid attention 7 times to the same ad? I know, non-existent. So I'm going to teach you some ways to get you in front of your ideal audience to help you make better budget decisions. Well, I qualify leads by the number of people that I actually talk to during the week. Oftentimes, specifically me, I use LinkedIn to have conversations, at least 10 conversations a week with people. With my percentage, we talked about 80-20, but I'm in that kind of a miracle lane where out of every 10 people I talk to, 7 of them buy something from me. So whether it's a book, because they like me. You like me. They like me. You like me. I know you like me. If you don't, you will after this. They know, like, and trust me, right? How many of you all buy from strangers? Hey, I got some shoestrings. You want to buy them? Right, the string, like, you don't need them, right? It's strange. But if you knew me and you were comfortable with me, you'd buy my shoestrings. So it's important, it is absolutely important to engage and to qualify those people that you want to buy what you have, right? Like, shares, and comments can be leads if you respond back. How many of you all get likes on your post and don't say anything? I know, right? So you look at it, or you say thank you. That's polite. Then what happens? It's a lead. They're interested. They're attracted, apparently, because they took the time to like. Now, what about the people who love it, especially on Facebook? They put the love, and that takes a lot of effort because I have to move the thing, right? So that means I really like you because I took the effort, the other 10 seconds to actually place it to love you. You have to start talking to those people. Say hello to them, and more than hello. Take them to your inbox. Have a discussion. Okay, so you're tired of the leads, you know how to qualify leads, you're ready to get to the good part, right? What platform should you be on to get these leads? So Facebook is large in Jamaica, YouTube is large in Jamaica. You guys are using Facebook much, much more than any platform. I'm sorry, content managers, I know you're not gonna like this. Content is becoming the new spam. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're putting out content, who's reading it? I know you're not. You're not, Joel. I know you're not reading the content. You're not reading content. So I want you to start building content for your audience. In order to do that, you're going to have to get to know them. Think resource, not retail. Stop selling to people. Nobody wants a used car salesman. Please. They want a resource. They want to talk to people, right? They want to know, like, and trust you so they can buy you. And video. You cannot make a mistake with that on Facebook, and it lends to a more casual conversation. All right, Pinterest. So I know that you're using it to search, right? I want you guys to start using it to lead to inquiries because you want leads. How you can do that, here's one way. Create a contest and get them to your website, right? Create a contest on Pinterest because they're searching to get onto your website. That way you can lead them to becoming customers. Twitter. Did you know you have to tweet 8 to 20 times a day? No, you didn't, did you? A tweet life lasts 30 seconds. No. So if you're tweeting, it's the newsroom. You want to lead them to a chat. That way that they can be a lead. All of this is about engagement. Every piece of it, every piece of social media is about media for you to be social. So you have to get engaging. Stop thinking that posting and going will help you. All right, these are my favorite. Instagram and LinkedIn. This is where the magic happens in business. I told you that my closing rate is 70%. I can't make this up. I don't make this up. There is where the people, the decision makers are there. They're making decisions. Start to make partnerships. I don't care if you have your curry chicken stand on the side. It's still, you can make business partners. Maybe there's some way you can possibly. I'm telling you, this is not unbelievable. It happens every day. I can't emphasize enough that you need to start to invest in your marketing so that you can build better leads, so you can make more money, because after all, isn't that the point? Thank you, guys.
So it's your first Yellow Digicon experience. Talk to us.
Exciting. I love Jamaica Digicon. You guys are really engaging, involved, knowledgeable. You know exactly what you want. You want to ask questions. It's straightforward, and I can appreciate that because you want to grow. Like these businesses absolutely want to grow, and I'm here to help. I was here to help.
What would you say is the main takeaway of your presentation today?
I keep it simple. Don't oversimplify the process of trying to get all this data, use all these platforms without actually creating a plan. So keep it simple.
Word of advice to the marketers here today.
Sales gets you paid. Marketing gets you leads. And you really need to understand that process first, and don't discount your marketing because it's not getting you sales, because it's not supposed to.
What are your thoughts on today's staging of the Yellow Digicon?
Awesome, just awesome. We've had digital conferences in the past, but this one tops it all. I think it's just the new areas that we're featuring, mobile marketing, social media management, and social media marketing, so it just tops all the others. And of course, we're taking it from an international perspective. So far, in comparing, the turnout has been super compared to previous years. So it just shows that Digicon is growing.
You mentioned international. Talk to us about your presenters here today.
Yes, so we have presenters from Canada and from the US. We have Alicia Whalen, who dealt with social media management. We have Sherry Washington, who spoke about, just getting leads online. And what I like about her presentation, she clarified outrightly the misconception about marketing versus sales. And based on the response from the audience, you could see that she was hitting the right notes there. And of course, John Carroll that spoke about getting online reviews. So in summary, and of course, our Google representative will be talking more about mobile marketing.
Why did Yellow feel the need to put on such a conference, Yellow Digicon?
Because of the growth of digital marketing, we're seeing where more and more persons are spending time online. And of course, digital marketing is really showcasing your goods and services online, be it social media or through your website or through various search engines. So, Yellow would pretty much be irresponsible to not be focusing on that. And of course, our mantra here at Yellow is to just put our customers' businesses in front of their target audience.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. Suzuki Vitara.
Corporate restructuring services. In today's evolving commercial and economic environment, businesses are continually seeking opportunities to manage operating costs and tax positions, as well as contain cash expenditures. Entity structuring can help achieve these goals, but often presents many challenges for multinational corporations. In addition, the OECD's Base Erosion and Profit Shifting (BEPS) proposals are expected to impact the bottom line of affected organizations and result in some business restructuring. Crow Jamaica delivers an integrated approach to clients' corporate and reorganization needs. Services include simplifying group structures, executing domestic and cross-border transactions including mergers, demergers, disposals, and company migrations, transferring assets and business units, aligning legal structures to business models, establishing national or regional hubs, converting subsidiary company structures to branch structures and vice versa, integrating legal structures following a merger or acquisition, providing practical advice and assistance throughout the planning, development, and implementation phases of corporate reorganizations. Crow Jamaica assists businesses and other advisors in developing and implementing efficient, cost-effective legal structures and business operating models. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email people@crowjm.com. Website www.crowjm.com. crowjm.com.
I'm Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, and you're watching Business Access.
Did you know that Google's algorithms are actually smart enough to differentiate between someone curious about learning about Jamaica, who are interested in traveling to Jamaica, who are already decided that's where I want to go on vacation, I just need to find the best deal, and who've already bought one? And it's not about personal data. We don't have that. It's about understanding the situation. What do you really want to do? That way, we can target you effectively and show you the correct ad or the correct experience and video, so you don't have to worry about that. We can also learn a little bit about your behavior, Someone at the beginning with John, I believe it was, or I hope it was with John, they asked a question about Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, how it's really scary how much information companies have about you, right? Well, we at Google don't have your personal information, but we are able to identify common traits that's not identifiable to you. We won't ever be able to zone in on Daniel. Ooh, we know that's Daniel looking at videos about puppies. No. We know that there's a man who's very interested in puppies and who might be interested in buying a new Labrador. So we'll do that. We'll help. And that's what the context is all about. So that in itself means assisting someone be able to create a business model. For assistance means first, you got to show up. What does show up mean? It means, like Target, like a supermarket, it means our attention span is so short that if you're not there when we need you, when we're looking for you, you might as well not be. So let me give you an example, a tangible example that you can copy. We have Target. Target is a supermarket, international. And when we're talking about supermarkets, we're used to the idea that someone has to buy groceries. They have to drive up, choose everything in the store, and then pay and leave. But did you know that Target found the secret formula? Even though we still have to go to the store, we now can pre-shop online. So what happens if we combine the offline experience with the online? We make a seamless omni-channel transition. So what did Target do? They realized they built an online shop. Not because they expected people to buy online, although they did, but they expected to be present whenever they needed. If they were baking a cake and all of a sudden they realized, I'm out of flour, I might as well make a wish list. Hey, I need flour. Remember to buy flour the next time. I really enjoyed that chicken meal I ate, so I got to write down the ingredients. And Target helped with that, helped making a shopping list that ultimately led to people buying more in their store. It was easier for customers to remember what they wanted. So, what does show up mean? It means if you need road assistance 24/7, you gotta be there 24/7. Not being there when they need you the most, when they're scared the most, can also be the key difference between great brand image and normal brand image. It means if you're in the service industry, right? Plumbing, restaurants, guides, surfing lessons, scuba lessons, if you're not there when they need you, when they're curious and impatient in that moment, you might as well not exist. And it's not about appearing sometimes, it's about always appearing. It's about re-engaging, but not spamming. So you have to wise up. How do you wise up? Well, what if I told you that we all have characteristics, likes, and wants that we consciously don't know about? Well, Sonos is an audio company. They build stereos, right? You wouldn't expect them to need a very complex, very complete marketing campaign. But what did Sonos do? they realized that young people love an audio experience. They love quality, they love tenacity, they love power. They want to do parties at night, they want to do parties in their bath, they want to listen to music all the time. But Sonos wanted to engage with those users, we wanted to find them, but the truth of the fact is Sonos didn't know how to find those kinds of people. What did they do instead? They connected with online marketing, with partners and premier partners that allowed them to share data, share intent with Google, with Facebook, with Yelp, with everyone. And that in itself, we helped them find the market, be able to identify between the crowd who's more willing and who's ready to buy a new stereo for their home or their bath. So that in itself, we made their targeting more efficient for them. We did all the hard work. You guys just need to be able to want it. And what did that lead to Sonos? That led to an increase in brand, 420%, like you can see in the slide. All of a sudden, college dorms, everyone used Sonos. Before, when we heard audio, maybe we thought Mitsubishi, maybe we thought Sony, Bose, but who knew Sonos even existed? And now he outsells everyone else. He's the number one. And he started small. If you don't believe me, think of the Uber example. We all thought taxi industry was going to stay the same. You know, you're in the curb, try to signal a car in the rain. But all of a sudden, with the comfort and easiness of an app, we can do it every time, every day. So help us help you grow. But to be able to grow, you have to keep up. You have to speed up. Because like I said, we got a very short attention span. Think 3 seconds. That's going to be your rule from now on. If we don't get what we want in 3 seconds, we're gone. We're that impatient with you guys. So then what does that mean? It means that you will lose half of your leads if you don't answer back in 3 seconds. And that doesn't mean a review. That doesn't mean a retweet. That means that if I want to know about your costs for dinner or your travel packages, I expect to be able to find the information in as little as 3 seconds. And since we all love our smartphones and we all love the mobile data in Jamaica, we expect that to be true. Just kidding. But there's a silver lining in it. Did you know that the world average is actually 24 seconds? So, how can the world average be 24 seconds if our attention is only 3? Well, here's the little secret for you guys. All we need to know is get some feedback. Basically, if we go into your mobile website and we start seeing some colors appear, changes, if we see that it's working in less than 3 seconds, that's enough. We'll start eventually paying attention to other information. If it ends or finishes loading in 24 seconds, then that's okay because we got our answer in 3. All of a sudden, it's like we knock on the door and we might hear someone yell, "Coming!" Then we'll wait. We're like, okay, someone heard me. It's the service is going to come. That's what the 3-second rule meant. But if I knock on the door, nobody answers or calls out, and 24 seconds later, you just simply open the door, by then they're going to see nobody. That's what we mean.
Wow, it was a fantastic forum, very informative, and the presentations were they were just to the point and very interesting. There was, some of those long presentations that people will be sleeping before they finish. Nope, wide awake, very interactive. Yeah, it was great. Awesome experience.
And that's it for our highlights of the Yellow DigiCon 2018. I've been your host, Amita Prasadweb, and thank you for watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
I wanted to be an educator because I believe that education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world.
My dreams and aspiration is to one day become an entrepreneur where I can employ other persons and help to build the country.
I wanted to go into development. I wanted to help people become better versions of themselves. Growing up, I saw a lot of violence, I saw a lot of crime, I saw a lot of poverty. The challenges are so many. The first one that comes to mind is the level of youth unemployment that's here.
Challenges that exist here in West Prospect Bogwalk are lack of awareness for educational opportunities or job opportunities.
Not many got the chance to do CXC or graduate from the secondary level. So that's a major setback for the people living in the community.
A way to alleviate this issue is training programs.
They need more opportunities, like to go back to school to get themselves a certificate so they can be able to work and create employment for themselves and their family.
Push more entrepreneurship opportunity, encourage these youths to be creative and innovative in what they do. Give them startup capital to start their business. Invest more in the youth skills and talents.
The poverty reduction program is funded by the European Union, and it really is a program that focuses on the most vulnerable type of communities, making communities safer, making citizens more healthy, better access to education.
For European Union, investing in youth is an obvious choice. They are the future of the country. If we prepare them well, they will bring the change that Jamaica needs. That's why we invest in scholarships, internship, training in life skills and mentorship.
I received a tertiary scholarship from PRP to attend the University of Technology, Jamaica. It meant a lot to me because I realized that somebody else believed in me and somebody saw the potential that I have and somebody believed that I could actually achieve my goal.
I benefited by getting firstly an internship, and also they assisted my bachelor's degree financially. But critically, outside of the finances, the persons that were on the project, you know, the motivation that they provided, etc., it really provided a huge boost.
This is my third year at the MICO. This scholarship, it helped me to be able to focus only on my education here, because tertiary education is not cheap.
I was placed at ODPEM on the one-year internship program. It was really good. It was an opportunity for me to prove myself, to give myself a service, and also to gain experience in the working world, and to also provide for my family.
I plan to be an agent of change in my community by being a mentor, a leader, and a godfather for the youths growing up. Try to help them, teach them a trade. You don't have to be rich to help. You don't have to achieve greatness to start. I contributed to my basic school by providing them with the necessary resources that they need, that I believe that in the long run, it will have a ripple effect on many, many persons.
Professionally, I manage the whole program, which is aimed at giving young persons the opportunity to, you know, do what I did, basically, to get their foot inside an organization. Additionally, I also have a little small business that I try to employ young persons to learn a skill, etc.
When you're persistent in life, when you're determined, when you're hungry for success, then you'll be able to accomplish and achieve anything that you want.
It has changed hundreds and hundreds of lives. Not just my life, my family lives, my friends' lives, etc. I want to just urge everyone looking on to continue these social programs. These are the solutions to the many ills that we face as a society and as a country and even as a world. So thank you, and I challenge you, continue it. It's needed.
Hey guys, and welcome to Chill Spot, your favorite business and lifestyle show. Today we're going to be hanging out with Caroline Smith, marketing implementer for the Western Caribbean at Sol Petroleum. She's going to be taking us shopping at Fashion 911, and then it's off to be pampered at Adam and Eve. So don't go anywhere, much more Chill Spot after this. Hi Caroline.
Hi Candy, welcome to Fashion 911.
Thank you very much. What are we looking for today?
Well, we're going to try on some fabulous outfits.
I'm
Getting ready
excited
for the
about
summer.
that, yes.
So looking forward to doing
I
that.
need some things that are nice and cool because it's just been so hot recently.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable.
So I see that you like to shop. Talk to us about why looking good is so important to you.
Well, image is everything. I mean, yes, we need our morals and we need to portray the right qualities, but people look at your outside and how you look. So I always encourage persons to try to have a clean, simple look, but make sure you portray your best.
And what about Fashion 911? Why do you like to shop here?
I like to shop here because it's a little hidden, so it's not always very crowded. It's just a good crowd. The people here are very courteous, very pleasant, and they're always willing to serve you with a smile. So that's the reason why I keep coming in. And of course, they have cute stuff, especially with the summer coming up. I think it'd be an ideal opportunity to get some stuff for happenings that are, you know, coming up soon.
For sure. And Caroline, describe your sense of style for us.
I would say very simple, very clean. I don't like a lot of clutter.
Right.
For an evening out, I tend to do more dresses, not so much jeans. So I would say minimalistic, clean, sophisticated.
What about your work style?
My work side is also very simple. I tend to do a lot of dresses as opposed to separates, because I find dresses to be very easy.
Yes,
so I tend to do a lot
for
of
sure.
tailored dresses and heels.
Well, I think I'm going to look for some things to wear to some events this summer. And I must mention that this outfit is actually from Fashion 911.
Oh, awesome.
So,
looking very good.
thank you very much. So let's get to the shopping.
Certainly, I'm excited.
Yes. These are the pants I have on. As you can see, they fit very nicely.
I look like a Western. Like I'm in a Western movie. Oh, Candy, I love this. They look cute on you.
Yes, I'll try this on for sure.
Definitely. And look at these boots for
Oh,
carnival.
wow. These
dazzle
are,
them.
I could, and they're so light.
Exactly.
Lovely. Ooh. Well, this one looks good. Yeah, it fits.
Yep.
Coming up. What would you say is the most out of character thing you've ever done?
Well, for people who know me, a lot of people are actually surprised that I'm big into Formula One racing.
It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. Free eye testing is back and it's here to stay. Island Eyewear offers free eye testing every day, all day at all locations island-wide. Conditions apply. Make your appointment today at www.islandeyewear.com or call us 630-1180. Island Eyewear, your style, your price. It's Island Hour, free eye test.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date. So Caroline, describe yourself on a personal level.
I would say I'm very motivated, very driven, and I have a fear of failure, so I overcompensate by just going out there and doing all that I need to do.
Okay, and what can you tell us about your childhood? How many siblings you have?
I grew up in Long Bay, Portland, and I have 2 younger sisters, and I have some additional siblings on my dad's side. I'm very close to my 2 sisters, who unfortunately live abroad, but we stay in touch with all the technology, Facebook, WhatsApp, you name it. My mother and my grandmother are my biggest motivators. Failure is not an option because really they really want me to strive to do my best and to give up my best. So that's a constant reminder to me that I need to keep pushing and work hard and just shoot for the stars.
Right. So a household with mainly women, how did that help to shape you?
All women. And the funny thing is we've all gotten to be very strong women, strong, driven women.
Right.
So that was definitely a great foundation for me. The beach is really a big draw. I remember as a child, I used to always, be swimming in the ocean. Our hair would be bleached blonde from the sun and the salt, and we just really had an awesome time. I left Portland and went to St. Anne when I graduated high school, and of course, Titchfield High School is my alma mater.
Okay.
Yes, I did everything there. I was a prefect, farm captain, sports captain.
So you're one of those that was involved in everything.
I was in everything. And I think a lot of that foundation has really helped me to develop into the person that I am today.
Okay, and after Titchfield, what happened? What about college?
After Titchfield, I did a stint at Cornell University in New York, and I also did some studies at Brownstone Community College. At the time, hospitality management was my major.
What would you say is the most out-of-character thing you've ever done?
Well, for people who know me, a lot of people are actually surprised that I'm big into Formula One racing.
Formula One racing?
Formula One racing. I actually support the Ferrari team. Ferrari/Shell, and my driver is actually Vettel.
So he came second the other day?
He came second in the Canadian Grand Prix.
I know this not because I watched it, but my dad did.
That was a very exciting race, very exciting race.
All right, well, I had a lot of fun today trying on all of my clothes. How was it for you?
Me too. Thank you for the feedback. I think we got some great pieces.
Absolutely. Clothes, shoes, jewelry, everything is
handbag.
Here. Intimates, basics.
Good stuff. We're going to be fabulous for the summer.
Of course, but before we get there, we're going to head to Adam and Eve.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to getting pampered.
Let's go. So I'll see you at Adam and Eve shortly. Yes. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Candy.
Good to see you again. So we're here at Adam and Eve.
I'm so excited.
Yes. How often do you like to come?
I like to come every other week at least.
And what do you do when you come here? Everything?
When I come, almost everything. Boy, I tell you, I like to get a facial. The facials here are just the best.
Yes.
They're professional. The technique is excellent. I like to get a manicure and pedicure as well, and I love to get my hair done. But today we're going to do the mani-pedi, a massage, and a facial.
And what are some of the benefits you'd say of promoting this sort of wellness within yourself?
Well, it's very important to de-stress because balance is important.
Of course.
And I work really hard, and the job can get to be a bit
Yes.
stressful at times, even though I enjoy it. So it's good to come and just get pampered and just enjoy.
Okay, well, you're really getting me in the mood having talked about it.
I'm looking forward to getting pampered today.
Welcome, ladies.
Andreen.
Hi.
Hi, Candice. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fabulous. You guys are looking forward to be pampered today?
Definitely.
Can't wait.
Tell us what we're going to be doing.
Massage, mani-pedi, facial.
Wow.
Excellent. And the whole 9 yards. There's something
Wow.
else in store, but I can't tell you. Definitely getting the Jamaican experience today. That much I
Okay.
can confirm.
Awesome.
So we're starting with the
Manicure and pedicure today.
Okay,
All right, and
perfect.
then after we gradually just go into some treatment. So, ladies, have a seat for me, please. Be with you shortly.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi, Uncle. How are you? Good to see you. This is Candy.
Hi, Candy. So, you'll be taking us up to do our mani-pedis?
Yes, we're going to be doing the Jamaican manicure pedicure, which is dubbed the rock steady.
All right.
Oh,
yes,
sounds
everything
good.
Jamaican today.
So now if I want to ask you a little about Adam and Eve, tell us about some of the services that you guys offer.
Well, we offer a number of different services. We have massages, facials, body scrubs, body wraps, tips and acrylic, barbering, you name it, we have it here.
I know she mentioned this Jamaican massage and Jamaican this and that. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, what we want to do for Caroline today is have her experience our Jamaican treatment. Our Jamaican treatment consists of the Jamaican massage, the rock steady manicure pedicure, the patwa body scrub.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and the Jamaican island facial. I mean, the idea came, we were just sitting one day and we said to ourselves, you have Swedish massage, you have European facial, why not
Do a
something-
Jamaican something,
Exactly,
right?
something
Yeah.
that is authentic to
Yeah.
Jamaica,
Yes.
uniquely Jamaican. And we said, okay, let's go with that. And we sat around and we planned, we thought about the names, and we got the names that I mentioned before, and we said, let's do this. We have our natural resources, we have our herbs, our spices, our
Yes.
Jamaican bamboo,
True.
and that makes it truly unique. And also the benefits that you get from using these herbs and spices are absolutely
Oh, yes.
amazing.
I can
They're-
imagine.
They're filled with antioxidants, they're anti-aging, you name it, a lot of beneficial factors that are associated with them.
So I should leave here about 10 years younger then.
Yeah, I want to be here younger and stress-free. That's all I need.
And that's the idea. And we're looking forward to pampering you today, Caroline.
I'm looking forward to it.
So let's start our
Yes,
anti-aging
go.
process.
Yes.
Coming up. Caroline, how would you describe yourself as a leader?
As a leader, I would say I can be a bit demanding, but then I don't demand any more of anyone than I demand of myself.
Right.
I'm a hard worker, so I expect persons to be hard workers as well.
Right.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art,
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
fashion, food,
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
music, film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank,
incredible discussion. On point, dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Salt is a Belgian company, started 11 years ago. Now in 23 countries. We started out in the Eastern Caribbean when we acquired the Shell assets. Over the years we have grown. Jamaica started as number 19 back in 2013. We are now 3 years old. We just celebrated that recently. We are pretty much the largest petroleum marketing company in the region. And one of the things that we have done is that we have basically tried to adopt all the best practices. We have basically employed all the best and the brightest persons in the region. In Jamaica, we have basically been mainly the distributors for the Shell lubricants, which we have basically been pushing pretty hard, and I think we have basically made some good inroads in the market thus far. In Jamaica, we have a very small team. We have a complement of 25 people. But our sales and marketing team is a smaller company. We are very tight-knit. Caroline is what we call the great motivator for the team. She's a big team player, very reliable, very energetic, never stops. So we tend to use her as a vice master because she always rallies things for us, whether it even be staff engagement activities, we have the marketing activities. She normally spearheads those things for us. So for me personally, I rely on her for a lot of things. I know when I give her something to do, I don't have to worry about it. She is very instrumental in this organization, and sometimes when I don't see her for a long periods of time, I say, who's trying to take you away from me? And she's a nobody boss because, there's no way I'm going to leave you. So we have that type of connection. So I just think it's one of the best things that could ever happen to this organization that she's here, because there are a lot of things that I think that she's just right for. Caroline can be a hardball. We have had our fights in terms of, and I mean positive fights. If I say something that she doesn't agree, she'll tell me. She knows I'm very stubborn, but she knows how to basically bring me to a level to say, okay, boss, think about it this way. So, and she makes her points very, heard, and she give her point. She's not gonna just walk away. So if we agree to disagree, we agree to disagree. But she's gonna tell you that she doesn't agree, which is what I like. I like to be challenged, and she challenge you. I like the fact that she keeps me balanced, because you need that sometimes. Because a lot of things rest with you, and when you make the decisions, you have to take responsibility for it. So it is good that you can trust somebody to guide you sometimes, because sometimes I work with what her suggestions are, and it works on many occasions. So I have no problems.
Caroline, this mani-pedi is exquisite, and the ambience here at Adam and Eve, the staff, everybody's so friendly. I feel at ease. I could fall asleep.
But you understand why I come here, right?
I do. So I want to talk about your role as marketing implementer for the Western Caribbean at Sol Petroleum. How did you get started in this industry?
Well, it was purely by accident. Actually started in the hospitality industry in super clubs, and then when Mr. Joe Issa acquired the Shell brands, I actually moved over and started a role there. So that's how I actually became affiliated to the Shell brand.
And what about your responsibilities? What does that entail?
As a marketing implementer, I pretty much do all the creatives, media management, conceptualize all the promotional planning, execution of the different activities, launches, and I support a number of markets as well outside of Jamaica.
Caroline, how would you describe yourself as a leader?
As a leader, I would say I can be a bit demanding, but then I don't demand any more of anyone than I demand of myself.
Right.
I'm a hard worker, so I expect persons to be hard workers as well.
Right.
I have a nurturing and caring side, of course, because you have to balance it. I'm very detail-oriented and very focused, and I have a lot of energy. So I'm always buzzing and, you know, being the life of the office.
And how long have you been in this role?
In this specific role, 3 years, since the inception of Sol Jamaica, which was in June 2013.
Okay, now was it difficult to transition from hospitality into this industry?
It had some challenges because initially when I came out of hospitality, I was actually in HR, and we were affiliated with a lot of unions in that role, so it had its challenges. But as with anything else, you know, you work and you build relationships and you overcome. So that has actually made me stronger as an individual, I think.
Do you have any accomplishments that you can speak about over the years?
Yes, over the years I've gotten several accolades, Manager of the Year, Department of the Year.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. Most recently, Jamaica has actually been awarded PR Store of the Year for Sol Jamaica, as well as Corporate Social Responsibility of the Year. So we actually get involved in a lot of projects.
Congratulations, that sounds amazing.
Thank you. We have a great team, and as they say, teamwork makes the dream work.
For sure.
So we achieve that through teamwork.
For sure. So do you have any other professional aspirations for the future?
Well, I certainly would like to continue to rise within the ranks at Sol Petroleum. Sol is a company I believe is going places. We're now represented in 23 Caribbean countries, including Jamaica. And it's a company that really believes in giving back to the community. It's a company that hires the best and the brightest. We actually invest a lot in our human resource. And I really feel proud to be a part of this company. So certainly I'd like to continue to grow within Sol and to continue to make an impact within the region.
How do you see yourself affecting change in your industry?
Well, I do believe that we ought to give back in some shape or form. And so I actually am involved with a number of private sector organizations in Jamaica, such, for example, AmCham, Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. I try to serve on the different committees and try to basically support the activities that these institutions try to bring about. So I believe that that is important.
And are you involved in any other professional or philanthropic activities?
Yes, I actually am a member of the Lions Club of New Kingston.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Yes. So we actually do a lot of projects. We have geriatric projects where we give back to the elderly and the shut-ins. We do a clinic in Standpipe, Ligani, where we offer medical services to the community for persons who otherwise would not be able to afford it. We get involved with the St. Joseph Health Fair in a partnership with Food for the Poor annually. We had that a couple of months ago, and we're able to benefit a lot of persons in and around the surrounding communities of St. Joseph's Hospital by basically helping to provide health care for them.
Oh, that's nice.
So we do try to do quite a bit.
Who or what would you say is your motivation?
I am intrinsically motivated for the most part. My mother is also another source of motivation for me.
Right.
My mother has worked really hard to help me to become the person I am today, and I really want to let her down. So every time I think about quitting anything, I hear her voice, pushing me along. Caroline, you can't quit, and that actually motivates me and propels me to even achieve even further and higher than I even intended to go.
Do you have any words of advice for people who have to deal with demanding bosses or bosses who expect a lot?
Yes, don't think it as all negative, because I've had my share of demanding bosses, and for me it stretches me as an individual. It makes me more effective, makes me more efficient in conducting my role and responsibilities. So definitely don't think of it as a negative. It'll make you be a stronger person, a more professional person.
Right. Well, Caroline, thank you for an amazing day. It was our girls' day out, of course, shopping and then coming here to be pampered. It was amazing. So thank you very much.
It was, Candy. It was great getting to know you. You know, I always see you on TV, so it was great getting to know you, and I realized that you're a very down-to-earth person.
Oh,
so it was
thank you so
certainly
much,
my pleasure,
Caroline.
and I'm glad to be able to take you to my hideaway.
Lovely. Today I got to do two of my most favorite things with Caroline Smith, marketing implementer for the Western Caribbean at Sol Petroleum. As always, shopping was a treat and I definitely enjoyed being pampered at Adam and Eve Day Spa. Until next Friday, I'm Candy for Chill Spot. Bye. Woo, what is that now? Woo, wanna see this or something there? Scrub. You need to get this. You need to get this. Who excited like me? Who hand can soft like mine? All right, I'm ready. This is from beach party? Okay.
It's cute, but I'm not sure what occasion it would be for.
Hold on, it's no drop off. Right? Hold on, let me get this back on there properly. Guys, don't film this first. After I said I don't want to try on anything tight, watch me trying on tight things.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV, serious about business. It's season 12 and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
she roll.
Just give me the line. 1, 2, 3, hit me.
Jamaican music is world-renowned, with legends like Bob Marley who have paved the way for today's stars. Is Jamaica really benefiting from its musical prowess? Tune in to Cameo to find out.
I am Michael Cooper, better known as Ibo. At present, one of the senior lecturers at the Edna College of the Visual and Performing Arts School of Music, one of the founders of Inner Circle, one of the founders of Third World, and the present chairman of the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JERIA. In terms of popular music and jazz, in those days you sort of learned that by ear as you go, playing in bands, listening to the radio, listening to sound system, watching and learning from other people. People like Lenny Hibbert, Sonny Bradshaw, Aubrey Adams, those were valuable people to me in those days. And Adrian Clark, who passed away, a guy from Barbados who was living in Jamaica at the time. You know, you watch them people play and say, wow, I wish, you know. By the time I was in my late teens, I was playing by ear and also reading music. Studied maths and physics at university and then got sidetracked because the muse hit me and I wanted to try composing and arranging and so on. I had been a part of the Inner Circle band at that time. And then myself, Pearlie Hamilton, Cat Core, we left that group to start Third World. I think we succeeded to a certain level. We had 6 Grammy nominations up to when I left the band, which was 20 odd years now. And then since I left the group, I went into Africa, managed a radio station, and then came back into the Western world, produced an album with Willie Stewart, and then moved on to reggae studies at the University of the West Indies, and then lecturing here at Edna, the popular music program. Of course, being a majority African society, you look at what we call African retention. Some people call it folk music, but it's a term that is no longer in vogue. Of course, we have our roots also in Europe, so classical music and the influence of jazz from the United States, the influence of Chinese and Middle Eastern culture and the Indian culture in our music. So we start there, and then we look at some of the innovation that came up, especially in the post-war period. And one of the things that happened is we had a style of music that was popular right around the 20th century, beginning of the 20th century, we call mento. It was often confused with calypso. Mento had influences, of course, in the roots culture of Jamaica, but also people going to Panama, the nearness of Cuba, and so on. Eastern Caribbean, you know, migration, ships, the influences came in. We moved from there to look at how the post-war farm work influenced the music when rhythm and blues was evolving in the United States. And rhythm and blues became very popular with the young people in Jamaica and actually had a very important part to play in the spanning of our recording industry. And then something that I consider Jamaican innovation happened. Yes, the equipment was not unique to Jamaica, but the use of it was unique. And we evolved a thing called sound system. Now, I know it's debatable because I'm not saying that amplifiers and turntables weren't happening overseas, but the use of it to keep big dances in what were lawns or halls, right? Creating the days when dance hall was 2 words, right? I still credit it as a Jamaican innovation. It was designed in those days to play mainly the rhythm and blues that was accessible from the United States. However, when the US changed their style to the rock and roll, the Jamaican audience love for rhythm and blues kept us recording our own rhythm and blues here. And two of the major pioneers, they were not the only persons, but they rose to be the prominent players, were Coxsone and Duke Reid. Sound system owners, record producers, and so they started to produce that sound. And as we moved towards independence, that sound evolved again with the influence of the Jamaican roots music, as we described before, into a sound that we eventually called ska. And it definitely was not the American R&B anymore. It is a sound for itself. And we have some of those pioneers still alive, Toots Hibbert, Derek Morgan, who could speak to that. I mean, these people are still around, and ska is very popular in the world right now. The sound kind of slowed down. Now, as to why, there is a particular person who takes the credit for it, and he's right now living on Treasure Beach. And he's a drummer called Joe Isaacs, because he claims that there was a particular session when he couldn't keep up with the ska tempo. But ever being creative, our producers never throw it out and say it's a spoil. Them called the new style, and the new style was called rocksteady. Innovation carried us into the use of echo units and so on later on, and we got to the reggae era, where instead of playing the straight ska, started to play a double or a shuffle. But it kept some of the characteristics of rocksteady, but it became known as reggae. I don't know, many of the artists did believe in their music and did believe that they were ready for the world, but I don't know if many of us felt that we would have made the impact that happened come the early 70s, namely Bob Marley bust the way he did. I mean, Bob Marley's impact on the world was unprecedented, and I'm not saying we didn't have artists before like the Blues Busters who made international name for themselves, Millie Small and so on. But the Bob Marley career was like big, was what we expected from like a big major rocker. So, reggae gone global now, and then we have a situation where backyard, you have studios like Channel One, producers like Sly and Robbie, Steely and Clevie, run by Jammies, starting to produce another type of sound now, and they using the new technology again, electronic percussions, drum machines, and so on, and creating a style that was also utilizing many of the dancehall selectors as artists. I mean, I know I'm leaving out a lot because of time, and there's much more to cover because each of our artists is a whole book. But we now evolve a style now we call dancehall, and dancehall now becomes one word rather than two. But all along the way, it was music for dancing, so it's always dancehall music as two words, but the style is now called dancehall. Prominent DJs like, Manley Buchanan back in the day, we had King State, Manley Buchanan as big youth. Now we get into a situation where you had Yellowman, and then you get Shabba, and Lady Saw later on, so on, Lady G, Patra, Michigan and Smiley in the early days, you know what I mean? We have to also give credit to a major festival promoted by Synergy back in there called Reggae Sunsplash. It was the beginning of what is now an international movement again. The big reggae festivals, days of artists doing Jamaican original music from ska to dancehall. That has evolved, a Rebel Salute, have some fest, and of course major festivals abroad like Rototom and Reggae on the River and so on. But we have to remember that Sunsplash started it all.
Coming up next.
Of course, there was the whole business of publishing. I've always been there, your songwriters' rights. Although I will say in the early days in Jamaica, we misunderstood that a lot and it was abused.
It's the only show that traces the steps of professionals.
From first and second form, I was involved in some club, some activity.
Then gives information on exactly how to get into that same career.
You do need a good grasp of English.
And know you can branch out into whatever area you want to.
Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Career Moves and catch up on all our episodes at BATVJA.com.
But what can be done differently to improve the industry? Ibo Cooper expounds.
Business then, there's a significant difference. Let me start with the music itself. In the pre-computer era, many of the persons composed their song, made up their song, and then went to musicians to get the arrangement done. So you go to an audition with your tune. I can speak to, for example, Cherry O Baby, which is one that me and Inner Circle played. Eric Donaldson came to the festival song audition with his song already prepared, and he would sing it down for you and you find the rhythm, and it's like, oh Cherry O Baby, you have that ready. Computer era, people started to build rhythms, and then producers would do some things on the rhythm. So people got used to writing to the rhythm. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just a change in the way. However, one of the things that was affected, I'm not saying it was adverse, I'm just saying it was affected, was the concept of the harmonic structure. Let me give you an example. Living on free food tickets, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What do? Ooh, tears from your little sister, crying cause she hasn't got a dress without a patch for the party to go. What do you know? She'll get by. Now you see how many cards I'm changing there, right? Okay, what happened in the computer era? I get something like 2 cards. And the person goes, living on free food ticket, water in the milk from the hole in the roof where the rain came through. What can you do? Oh. So that is musically some of the changes. There are many more that happen. However, business-wise, in the early days of sound system, there was also a thing called a jukebox, which is a music vending machine. And that was a driving force in the music industry at the time. Records were pressed on vinyl, plastic, and you could get, it's a 2-for-1 because you have an A side, which you call the hit side, and a B side, which you call the flip side. And record sales was very important because the jukebox, a popular tune would wear out. After a while, the nail dig it up. So a popular tune would wear out, and so you'd have to replenish your supply. So that sparked record sales. All right. Of course, there was the whole business of publishing. Always been there, your songwriters' rights. Although I will say in the early days in Jamaica, we misunderstood that a lot and it was abused. Okay. What changed was the invention of things like the digital audio tape and the CD players. It changed the medium. However, discs were being sold. A radical change was the digitizing of music, because MP3, AIFF and WAV files and so on changed the thing. You could now download it, and of course Napster came with a free download, and that affected the industry, and plenty of people figured, wow, sale of music is dead. Interestingly enough, the digital era, however, saw a rise in touring and live performances. It's interesting because people want to go out and see the artists now. But the download thing did affect record sales for a while, although it didn't kill the business. And then we have the 360 model, where record companies are asking for merchandising and other peripheral stuff, whereas back in the day it was a record company supported the record and made money from the sale of the record. A publishing company was making money from your publishing and songwriters' rights and rights for the recording. We have a 3 million population and people who want to come into an industry, and we have, I think the Guinness Book of Records still have us as the country that produces the most songs per day, record the most songs per day. Now, it means where you're going to sell them. We have to look at, therefore, exporting our culture. And we are the outside guy in that regard. Because you're going into America, you're going into Canada, you're going into Italy, you're going into England as somebody coming in from outside. So we have to depend a lot on this export thing, and we're up against some obstacles because you're not the at-home guy. The one I'm passionate about is the development. that is where the public and private sector can help. There's an article put out recently, and I circulated it among my friends and the JARIA membership, that the British music industry has come back to the forefront internationally because of a £500 million investment. So, Adele, Sam Smith is not butt up and catch. It's not a buck up. It's not a try a thing. It is designed. The challenge that we face nationally is this. We're waiting for the tree to bear fruit. But how do you feed the farmers in the interim? Okay. Who buys the seed and the fertilizer? That is the part of it that is not being addressed. So what we're doing, we are glorying in people who have taken a risk individually, not nationally. The persons take a risk individually, they become a success, and then we run behind them with the black, green, and gold and say, Jamaica! It was an individual person who won.
Right. Coming up next.
We've had so many music forms, but modern Jamaican music is really defined as that which moves from ska to what we have today.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
We've had so many music forms, but modern Jamaican music is really defined as that which moves from ska to what we have today. You have many versions of what really took place. Some people trace the recording of the single by Theophilus Beckford called Easy Snapping as really the foundation of ska and modern Jamaican music. There are differences of opinion, but most people tend to cling to that version. And then what happens after that is that we moved into the rocksteady era. You know, that was in the late 60s, maybe about 66, 67. Then we transitioned into the reggae era that was in the late 60s, 68 going on. And then during the 80s, it was the dance hall, you know, with people like Yellow Man and all of these artists, you know. The music became more rhythmically driven and had less emphasis on melody.
Clyde Mackenzie was the founding general manager of reggae radio station Ari FM. He later became director at Shockin' Vibes Studio Productions, where he produced recorded music and live events. He was also the co-producer of Beanie Man's Grammy-winning album, Art and Life.
The thing about the music business is that it has a number of income streams. There is the live performance aspect, there is the recorded music aspect, there is what you call publishing, in the sense that you earn from the ownership or having interest in a song. There are other aspects, you know, merchandising and different ways that artists are able to exploit their own images. What I will say is that the business model has changed dramatically as a result of the digital revolution. Prior to this revolution, what you had was a situation in which recorded music was the dominant form of income generation. So artists would earn the bulk of their income from the sale of records, and they would use tours to support the sale of recorded products. That model has been upended, and now what you find is that it is the recorded products that are now supporting the tours, and the tours are really the most profitable part of that value chain. And so you will find that artists now are not really too concerned about their income from the recorded music side of it. It is really now the touring, because that's where the big money is. The kind of money that artists used to make and the kind of revenue that producers in Jamaica used to generate, I'm not sure they are making that kind of money today, because what has happened is the developments in the digital age, the new digital model. I don't think artists make as much money as they used to do, and there's a reason for that. One of the things I believe is that at least they don't make as much money from recordings internationally. For example, you'd find in days gone by, albums were the main vehicles for distributing your music. So you'd have 2 good songs, but you could get another 12 sold on the album. That's not so anymore. The model now with iTunes and all of that is you sell singles. So that whole idea of you're being able to rip off the consumer with 2 songs and have them pay for 10 or 12, that's no longer there. So some of the opportunities for making money that would have been available to the artist in days gone by are not anymore. Now that they have these more sophisticated tools for measuring, what it does is it privileges some of the established artists, and it keeps them on the charts longer, and it kind of closes the space for a lot of the upcoming artists. One of the biggest challenges, I think, is the fact that a lot of our artists are not able to travel right now because of one reason or another. Issues in terms of securing visa, because they might have problems with the law and problems with the authorities elsewhere. I think that is a significant challenge to our music industry, because it obviously affects the capacity of our artists to earn. And as I indicated earlier, it is from live performances that artists will derive the largest portion of their revenue. The whole question of training, the fact is we have super talented people, but many of them remain in the rough. I think it is important to train them not only in their craft. I mean, many of them learn that pretty well, but sometimes they could be the beneficiary of more refinement. There's always the question of how do you represent yourself in public? How do you conduct yourselves in interviews, for example, because that can be significant in terms of how you engage an audience. Greater collaboration. I think we don't move strategically in terms of how we deal with this industry, and so it is a matter of individuals with their own agendas, and sometimes this does not redound to the advantage of the larger system. And I think that is perhaps the biggest issue that plagues our industry right now, the lack of a coherent strategy that would define how we interface with each other and with the outside. People tend to be nervous, because the flows are not as regular and predictable. So we tend maybe to be a little bit more competitive and, unwilling to collaborate, because, we figure it's a small pie and therefore we need to grab as much of that pie as is possible. And I don't know if that's going to change. You only need to look and see the transformation of companies like Lime and Digicel, where these were telecoms originally. Now they are media companies. It tells you what technology can do in terms of changing how people do business. And that is going to have huge implications on how we conduct our lives, because this is just the start. We haven't seen a lot of what is to come.
And that's it this week for Cameo. Even in the midst of challenges, our creative industries continue to shine. I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb. Join us again next time.
Now presenting the Jamaica Social Investment Fund ICDP Enterprise Development Project. Entrepreneurial Grant Business Pitch.
This project is a $100 million grant that's seeking to target 50 small and micro business enterprises and give them training, capacity development, equipment, permits and license towards the development and the viability of their business. We have made a call for proposal in March of this year for entrepreneurs to submit for the opportunity to receive a grant between $1 and $5 million. We received more than 500 applications, and so we have now shortlisted them to 100. So we've invited that top 100 applicants here today, and they're going to have to pitch their business idea to a panel, and of the 150 will actually transpire and win the opportunity for the grants. One of the primary objectives of what we're doing here is employment. We want the business to be able to sustain not only the principals as the owners, but we also want the business to be able to employ at least 2 people. The next part of it, as we do in all of our projects like this, is it provides a learning instrument of how we can engage small and micro enterprises and take them to the next level.
Why we're doing this rigorous process, because we want to identify the best potential entrepreneurs for this project. And keep in mind that we are speaking about a loan, so we want to ensure that applicants are committed, and that from a sustainability point of view, that upon receiving the support from JSIP, that in 2 or 3 years, the enterprises will still be operational and the broader objective of the project would be achieved. Once we have now equipped them and they should be ready to start their production line going, we'll then have a mentorship component.
It has been a very competitive process. Jamaica is filled with persons with drive and passion. We're expecting that the best will be selected. And then for those who are not successful, we are also hoping to link them to other providers of services, because I'm telling you today, from what I've seen, it is an excellent opportunity. It's worthy of note that many persons coming here today already have some kind of semblance of a business, but they need the additional support to move that business to the other level, as well as some persons that come in with those proposals to start from scratch. On behalf of the JSIF, we want to really thank the DBJ and other partners from UE who came to be part of the panel, and just to remind you that the JSIF is here and we're investing for community development.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your girl, Vivica Fox, and you are watching Business Access.